Hello mga langga, shout out. Kamusta kayo dyan? Thank you mga langga ha. Ita's Journey, shout out. Yan, Tamsak, shout out. Kamusta ka dyan, yan? Salamat ha, yan. Salamat sa pagpunta. Kamusta kayo dyan? Welcome mga langga. Lapag kayo bahay nyo ha. Huwag kayo may... Yan si yan. Yan. Kamusta ka yan? May jacket na yan. Lapag ka bahay mo. And welcome to my live streaming mga langga. Kamusta kayo dyan? Kapag kayo bahay niya. Jerry's Kitchen, shout out. Eater's Journey, shout out. Hello mga langga. Kamusta kayo dyan? So our topic is about the antimicrobial agent used for foods. So antimicrobial. Antimicrobial is an agent that kills microorganisms or stops their growth. The antimicrobial agents have long been researched for their effectiveness to kill or inhibit growth of microorganisms in on foods. This has been done in an effort to increase food safety for the consumer as well as to increase the shelf life of food. Mm. The shell life of food products. So it should be added to the food during processing and is either removed, converted into normal food constituent for functional activities that leave insignificant non-functional residuals. Kamusta ka mada? The use of any antimicrobial depend on several factors such as desired effects, legal limits of use and effects on the food. Yung kakalapoy, babag ulang ko tapos cooking. Nakapoy magdikam mo gali. It is not the antimicrobials. It is not an easy process to select the appropriate preservation system for a particular food product. The target pathogen or spoilage microorganisms must be identified first. The possible preservation system must be evaluated via model studies and studies in the food product. Selection of the proper antimicrobial depends on several primary factors. Number one, the antimicrobial spectrum. Number two, the um, physicochemical properties of the antimicrobial. And three, food-related factors. What is the antimicrobial spectrum? That is the initial selection of the antimicrobial is normally based on an assessment of the overall microbial spectrum of the chemical. The antimicrobial spectrum should involve evaluation of the compound against various types of microorganisms, for example, bacteria, yeast, or molds. Forms of those microorganisms, vegetative cell versus spores. Even species strain and gram reaction, positive versus negative, and with dramatic influence on apparent activity. The antimicrobial spectrum of a compound is generally determined by following the growth of the organisms in the presence of various concentrations of the antimicrobial. Then we have this physicochemical properties of the antimicrobial. That is the overall microbial spectrum, the mode of action, and the efficacy of compounds are largely dependent on the chemical and physical properties of the antimicrobial. The polarity of a compound is probably the most important physical property. High volatile, high volatility can also result in noticeable odor, which contributes to an off flavor in the product, in a food product. Now, what are the considerations in the use of food antimicrobials? Number one, sanitation. Kailangan malinis. Antimicrobial is never substitute for good sanitation in a food processing plant, and low microbial loads must always be sought. Number two, few, if any regulatory approved antimicrobials are able to preserve a product that is grossly contaminated. In addition, although the food antimicrobial will extend the lag phase or the inactive low numbers of microorganisms, their effects can be overcome. Three, if the number of microorganisms contaminating a food product is high, significantly higher quantities of an antimicrobial may be needed. Kailangan na. For the food-related factors, the chemical reactivity of the antimicrobial with other food components can significantly affect activity. Reaction with lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, and other food additives can result in an overall decrease in the activity of the antimicrobial compound. Tita Guy, shout out. A sensory evaluation is often needed to assure the antimicrobials do not directly or indirectly through the chemical reaction alter the color, flavor, or texture of food product. Tita Guy, thank you. Kamusta ka dyan? Alis ko na tuyo ako. Tingko nga lang ga. Then for the toxicological safety, it is obviously essential that an additive for use as food antimicrobial be safe for human consumption. It is also important that the antimicrobial be metabolized and excreted by the body. The compound, its breakdown product should also not result in the buildup of residues in the body tissues. They occur in nature, and it is often, though, that naturally occurring antimicrobials are less toxic than synthetic compounds. This is not always true. A naturally occurring antimicrobial must be shown to be non-toxic either by animal testing or by its continuous consumption by consumers as a food over for a long period. The labeling. Consumers are reportedly concerned about the presence of synthetic chemicals in their foods and would prefer naturally compound na prefer natural compound. A potential problem with natural antimicrobials is that if they are highly purified, they may need to be approved as food additives. This would involve very expensive and time-consuming toxicological testing. Three, in addition, the compound would probably have to be listed using a chemical name on a food label. So this, of course, would defeat the purpose of using natural compound. For that reason, less purification may be better. For if the product is simply an extract huh, of commonly consumed plant or animal food product, it must less likely to require complex regulatory approval for use. This is only possible if the product from which the extract is taken is known to be non-toxic. The economics of use. A food antimicrobial will not be useful to the food industry unless it is inexpensive enough and has the ability to pay for itself based on reducing spoilage and minimizing food burning illness. Extensive studies at the pilot plant level are necessary on any food additive to prove its overall usefulness. In many cases, additional 2 or 3 days of the shell life can significantly help to offset the cost of using an antimicrobial. The efficiency of this compound can be extremely important in determining the overall economics of their use. For the activity validation methods, currently there are few standardized methods for validation. Tara, shout out Tara. Hello Tara Burton. How are you? The regulatory approved food antimicrobials. How are you Tara? If antimicrobials are to be used exclusively as an inhibitors of pathogens, in food products, assays need to be developed that evaluate the activity of these compounds against the pathogen they are designed to kill. The reason for these assays is that by various conditions of the process or storage could be reduced the effectiveness of the compound. For example, it is known the peptides such as niacin are susceptible to inactivation by enzymes in foods. Good you, I'm good. Here. Thank you. Happy to see you, Tara. Therefore, just as thermal processes, they need validation. So should there be a validation for the activity of food antimicrobials. For the sensory effects, another major factor that needs to be addressed when applying antimicrobials is the potential impact on the sensory characters of food. I had a busy weekend. Tara, that's good. You have a productive, yeah, you have a productive activities. It's really nice to be busy so that ano, you will not be lonely. Yeah, that is for your welfare and being productive as well. So obviously, compounds that negatively affect flavor and odor or contribute inappropriate flavors and odors would be unacceptable in addition to the adverse effects on flavor, odor, or texture. It would be unacceptable for food antimicrobial to mass spoilage because spoilage may protect consumers from ingesting food-borne pathogens. I had to put my kitten for his daily naps. Wow. Do you really love kittens? It's so nice to have animals also in the house. Really stress free. Resistance development. Because of the activity spectra are often different for each antimicrobial, the microflora contaminating of a food product significantly influences the choice of the antimicrobial needed. He is cute. Yeah, I love animals also. One should be cautious, however, not to select antimicrobial solely according to its ability to control the predominant microorganism present. Because of their specificities, selecting antimicrobials that control some genera but not others may result in the selecting for and creating favorable conditions for growth other organisms. No, no. For growth of other organisms, I mean. Potentials food. Tara, you may also content your animals, especially kitten. Kitten are viral animals. Potential food antimicrobial should not contribute to the development of resistant strain nor alter the environment of the food in such a way that growth of another pathogen is selected. There has been much interest in the effect of environment stress factors. For example, heat, cold, starvation, low pH, organic acids on develop resistance of microorganisms to subsequent stressors. Microorganisms exposed to a stress may become more resistant and have enhanced survival to subsequent stresses. You may also content that cute animals when you give them foods, water. It's very nice content as well. Showing care and love to the animals, your domestic animals. The common antimicrobial agents is the benzoic acid, acetic acid. The acetic acid from vinegar, yeah, acetic acid yon. The nitrites and nitrates and nitrites, sulfur dioxide, antibiotics or phosphate. They are common antimicrobial agents. The antimicrobial agents, the benzoic acid, disrupt cell membrane. Yeah. Um, Disrupt cell membrane function, inhibits enzyme molds, yes, some bacteria. To preserve fruit juices, fruit beverages, pickle, vegetables, olives. That is uh, antimicrobial agents uses benzoic acid. The acetic acid. Acetic acid is a weak organic acid. Unlike a lot of other food additives, acetic acid is commonly used in home cooking, sample vinegar, pickled food, salad dressing, mayonnaise. The nitrates and nitrites are frequently added to processed meat like bacon, ham, sausages, and hot dogs. So yeah, the antimicrobial agents that put in hot dogs is the nitrates or nitrites. They function as preservatives, helping to prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. The phosphorus is found naturally in dairy, meat, and plants. It is needed to help cells work properly. Phosphate enhance flavor and moistness in the daily meats, frozen food, cereal, cheese, and baked goods, as well as in sodas and prepared iced tea mixes and organic phosphorus used in restaurant foods. Then for the sulfur dioxide, it is used as preservative for dried apricot and other dried fruits owing to its antimicrobial properties. It is sometimes called the 8220, the 820, the A2220. When used in this way, uh, as preservative, it maintains the appearance of the fruit and prevents rotting para hindi siya madunot. For the future antimicrobials will undoubtedly continue to be needed to provide the food supply that will be demanded in the future. Global economy, I mean, in which we live, results in foods being transported throughout the world. If foods are to arrive in the condition expected, preservatives will be needed because they are perishable foods. Huh? Can be rotten in short period of time. So they put some preservatives. Food scientists, regulators, and consumers will be better able to determine whether the risks outweigh the benefits for selected additives now available and for some compounds of potential future value. The information should also preserve as a basis for the selection of any new antimicrobial development in the future. The future research in the area of food antimicrobials will be likely to be on two fronts. First, the expansion of information on the antimicrobial spectrum of natural antimicrobials. The research will be more um, will be more focused on the appropriate use of natural antimicrobials or utilization of compound in situation in which they are compatible. Appropriate or compatible use would involve using these compounds in foods in which they add to the positive sensory characteristics of the product in addition to improving food safety or increasing shell shell life. Second major area of research involves use of antimicrobials in combination with each other and with the additional or novel processing methods to be more effectively apply antimicrobials so that the synergistic activity is possible will require knowledge of the mechanisms of action of these compounds. Attaining the synergistic activity with antimicrobial combinations requires that the components have different mechanisms. In addition, the natural antimicrobials will be increasingly looked on adjuncts in hurdle technology and use with milder, non-sterilizing, non-thermal processing methods such as high hydroelastic pressure or pulse electric fields. Without the antimicrobial coating, uh, we what do you think? For example, strawberry dip in antimicrobial film. What do you think will happen if the strawberry has no antimicrobial coating? It will be easily be rotten. With antimicrobial coating, it will guarantee freshness on the strawberry. It will not be rotten. So that is the antimicrobial agents used in foods. So that's why those exported foods has preservatives, has antimicrobial agents that inhibit the growth of bacteria to prevent spoilage and as well contamination of foods. Thank you very much dyan sa inyong lahat. Tara, thank you for dropping by. Pero mahina yung internet, ano? Anti-cheese ring. May preservative rin ito. Hey G, I'm back. Ha ha ha. Kamusta eh, G? Da maturog ako. Natuyo ako lang ga. Ang tabos ako man. Tapos ko nang luto, bla nakapoy gid ako. So kinapoy ako do hinapa internet eh, G no, hinama da internet. Okay lang da internet sa inyo. Kailan uwi ng papa mo sa March 19 pa? Dito siya oh. Punta dito. Halika dito. Kinakain ko na sa sisling. Say hi. Oh, pakita at sura mo. Oh, araw. No. Say hi. Ah, March 19, ako sa Puli. March 19, uwi siya. Kasama niya doon mga kapatid ko sa Mindoro. Nabisita lang yan kasi sa akin. Sabi ko, dito ka na lang tumira. Eh, ayaw niya dito kasi wala siyang kilala dito, wala siyang kausap. Tapos sabi niya, kain tulog lang daw siya. Tapos, binigyan ko naman siya ng freedom na makalabas-labas. Ko, sige, labas ka doon. Kahit saan ka pupunta. O, balik ka lang dito. Kato ka lang dito sa pintuan. Binibigyan ko ng pera para kung gusto niya mamili. Parang ganon. Ayan. Kasi yung mga kilala niya, mga friend doon, kasi sa Mindoro yan. Na-lockdown lang siya dito sa akin. Ito, microphone. Blue Yeti microphone yan from Australia. Binigay sa akin ng kaibigan ko na galing sa Australia. Pinadala dito sa Pilipinas. Nabaitan sila siguro sa akin kaya pinadala ako. Pero hindi ako nanghingi. Naiya kasi ako manghingi. I'm not the demanding type of person. Kulang ka. Ganyan talaga ako. I'm not that type of person na mag-demand. Naiya ako. Pero pag nagbigay sila naman, to refuse is an insult. Sige, gawin ko din siya, friend. Ha? Okay, oo. Sige, pwede rin. Dikitan mo si Owen David. Sino ba yan? Owen David yung, ano ba yan? Daex, please. Yeah. Maraming salamat sa inyong patamsak ka, Baby Heart. Kamusta ka, Baby Heart? Andito. Nakita kita dito. Dito ka sa bahay mo, Baby Heart. Pinanood kita dito. Happy 7th wedding anniversary. Oralin. 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 AJ, nandyan si Oralin. Oralin Vlog, kamusta? Ganda ng pangalan mo, Oralin. Oh, di ba? Oh, di ba? AJ Oralin Vlog. Oralin na yan. Ayan, di ba? Oralin, kamusta? The root word is oral. Oralin. Oralin, kamusta ka dyan? May jacket ka na langga. Mano, caster light yan ang bilhin mo, sir, para makakanta ka ng may tunog. Ah, ganun ba? Mano, caster light. Picturean ko yan. Ayan. Ayan ako na lang. Ayan o. Ay, naano ko lang. Salamat, AJ, sa idea. Mas maganda yan kaysa sa biit. Ganun ba? Okay, napaka-sensitive kaya itong Blue Yeti na to. Kaso lang hindi ko alam kung paano gamitin. Oo, mas mahal ito. Pag-convert ito ng ano, pag-convert ito ng kasi dollar doon sa Australia, kinonvert ko mga yung price niya is more dyan sa 16,000-17,000. Oh, na nakita ko sa ano, sa mga Blue Yeti. Hoy, ang mahal pala nito. Diyos ko. Sabi ko ganyan, akala ko kung ano lang. Akala ko mura lang. Parang ito rin ang ginagamit ng mga singer, ng mga professional, pero itong mga Blue Yeti na ito, oh, ginagamit nila sa pangkanta din. Pero hindi ko lang talaga alam kung paano gamitin. Mano caster light. The Gaming Friends, mas mahal nga lang. Ganun ba? The Gaming Friends, shout out. How are you, brother? Sige, sige, be. Search ko nga to. Ay, oo, nakita ko. Ganda tong Manocaster, Abi. Dito na ako sa Manocaster Light. Parang biit rin naman ng caster light, no? Parang biit. Pero mas maganda pa to. Parang, mm, monocaster light. Yung monocaster light mahal. Yap, mas maganda kasi yung biit ko di din na nagana pag laptop lang gamit. Pero yan. Magkapareho tayo. Hindi sa gumagana sa laptop ko ang biit. Walang sound pag kumakanta ko, parang akapila lang. Mas maganda kasi na mas maganda kasi yung biit ko din gumana pag laptop ang gamit. Pero yan, pag monocaster light ang gamit mo, gumagana siya. Bili nga ako ng monocaster. Magkano yung monocaster light? Yap, dyan sa mono nagana sa laptop. Ganun ba? Kita ko dito, nanood ako dito ng monocaster light, unbox and set up. Listahin ko nga yan. Nakakuha ko na pala. The screenshot. Tapos may microphone lang siya. $3,500. Okay lang. Okay lang kung 3,500. Bumibili nga ako ng mga GoPro. Tag 32,000. Bili ako niya na ng monocaster light. Salamat, EJ. Monocaster light yung gamit mo. Excited po naman ako bumili ako ng biit. Para makakanta. Makakanta nga ako pero wala sound. Yung sound card lang mismo mahal kapag may mic pa. Ganun ba? Sa Lazada meron rin. Hmm, Lazada. Oo, doon ako bumili sa Lazada. Making a thumbnail for email last bit. It's hard, Lord. Really? Lazada. Parang video card rin sila na style na may microphone na tapos may mga ganito na oh. May microphone na ganito tapos may handle na yan. Sa yung package ng ano ng monolight ano na monocaster light. Oh, oh Diyos ko. Ang tuyo na ko. Tinapon mo ng biit mo, walang kwenta. Yung biit ko na to, binili ko ng 1,999. Dito pa yan. Ay lamang siyang cover ako, ginagamit ko pa rin yung biit. Mas mahal yan pagkasama. Okay. So, iba yung presyo ng microphone, iba rin yung presyo ng monocaster light. Ito nakita ko. Meron din siya na awkward, applause, gunshot. Ay, makapareho rin sila ng biit. Meron sa booing, slapping, laughter, may pitch rin. Hmm. May music rin maximum, may effect, may music. Ganda ah. Parang may similarity rin sila sa biit, no? Pero mas maganda tong monocaster light. Kapag may microphone, 4K plus, okay lang. Kahit umabot pa sa 4K plus, at least makakanta ako na may boses. Enjoy ako kasi hilig ko makanta pag videokihan. Makapagkanta ako ng marami pag ano. Pero maganda yan kasi may noise reduction. Oo, meron sa noise reduction. Monocaster Light AM200 is one unboxing setup. Thank you, Gia. Pero maganda yan kasi may noise reduction siya. Sige, yan ang susunod kong bibilhin, not now. Order ka na sa Lazada para makanta. O sige nga, mag-order ako sa Lazada. Monocaster Light. Salamat, EJ, ha. Parang na-miss ko magkanta. Kakanta nga tayo. Kanta tayo, ha. Sandali lang. Dito, kanta tayo. Parang mahina yung internet, no? Parang mahina yung internet. Ano kantahon to naman? Gusto ko talaga magkanta na microphone with music background kaso lang. Yan ang problema ko eh. Hindi ako makapagkanta ng may music background. Yung kantahon to, di man. Yung kantahon pa. Salamat ha, AJ. Oh, yeah. A little conversation are turning into little sweet sensation, and they're only getting sweeter every time. Our friendly get-togethers turning into little bits forever. If I just believe this foolish heart of mine, I can't pretend that I am just a friend. 'Cause I'm thinking maybe we were meant to be. I think I'm falling in love with you. And I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to turn away, but I'll say it anyway. I think I'm falling for you. I'm falling. ever were together. I'm wishing that goodbyes had turned to never. But the news there, I always wanna be. If ever were to get you, all I really wanna do is hold you. No else of you has meant this much to me. I did pretend that I am just a friend, 'cause I'm thinking me. Hina yung ano. We were meant to be. Oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. Nantok ako. Monocaster light. AJ. Puntahan nga kita AJ. AJ. It is journey. Sandali lang. Gusto lang tayo. Kaunta si Kamas. Gusto lang tayo shout out. Kain tayo ano, si Kamas. Gusto lang dahil salamat. Dahil tayo sa gamas. Mr. Alunday, kamusta? Actually, busog ako. Pero parang gagana pa ako kakain. Pero may appetite pa ako kakain.